doctor, give me the news. I've got a bad case of loving you. No pill's gonna cure my head. I got a bad case of loving you.
Good morning. It is Coronavirus Video Journal Day 57. It is the morning of July 20th, 2020. It is my first shift in my stretch of 7 this week. And amazingly enough, overnight, not a single coronavirus admission. LA County is getting destroyed by the virus. Our hospitals are becoming inundated. My younger brother is a physician at another hospital system in the county, and that hospital system has over 550 hospitalized coronavirus patients among its various hospitals. At last check last week, while I was off, my hospital system also had just under 550 hospitalized corona patients in Southern California. So it's getting ugly. I unfortunately do not have updated information about my facility's coronavirus numbers. Last week we had approximately 40 patients in my hospital that were infected. That's it. It's a little early in my week to let you know exactly how crazy or calm things really are, but we'll get there. So that's it for today. Please continue to wear your masks. Stay indoors if you can. Stay away from other people other than your immediate family. Wash your hands, and please be safe and think of others, not just yourself. And hopefully we'll get through this, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Good morning. It is Coronavirus Video Journal Day 58. It is the morning of July 21st, 2020, and don't have too much to report. Overnight we had 2 coronavirus admissions, and other than that, California is slowly crumbling under the weight of coronavirus. We are now actually seeing at my facility that a lot of other nearby facilities are doing a very poor job of taking care of any of their patients, particularly their COVID patients, because they're so overwhelmed. So we're accepting transfers from other facilities in the area, and they're not doing right by their patients at all. Workups are completely mishandled or incomplete, and they're not doing what needs to be done for the patient before sending them to us. So it looks like, coronavirus is taking its toll in that regard, even on non-coronavirus patients. So beyond that, nothing much else to add. I have been seeing videos of nurses in Los Angeles, claiming, oh my God, we're taking transfers from up to 70 miles away, like as if that's a big freaking deal. Like, it's hilarious. We're accepting transfers from over 220 miles away because COVID is hit so bad in the southernmost parts of California. So yeah, accepting transfers from 70 miles, 80 miles, like 220 by ambulance. So nonetheless, like I've told you guys before, El Centro is sending patients by airplane all the way up to San Francisco to get treatment because they have no availability of hospital beds. So yeah, hitting hard, hitting fun. It's the end of my shift. I'm going home, get some rest, to come back and do it all over again. So stay safe, wear your masks, socially isolate, socially distance, and we will talk again soon. Good morning. It is Coronavirus Video Journal Day 59. It is the morning of July 22nd, 2020. And overnight, I had no coronavirus admissions, but I did have one coronavirus patient crash overnight and require transfer to the intensive care unit for intubation. They had to be put on a ventilator because everything that we had been trying for the past several days was no longer working to keep that patient's oxygen level at a acceptable level. And so the patient claimed that they couldn't breathe anymore and that they felt like they were drowning. And so we deemed it necessary to put them on the ventilator. This patient is on remdesivir, on steroids, on a clinical trial for a unknown, or I guess it's a clinical trial for interleukin-6. Patient has also received convalescent plasma, and the patient is on antibiotics, and I think that's it. Oh, and on heparin, which has recently been found to help these patients. So everything has been done, and it's still not working. So, obviously no one drug is a wonder drug, but every drug that's supposed to help even a little bit we're using, and it's not helping this guy. So we'll see. Unfortunately, the outlook is not good, but fingers crossed, and we hope for the best for the said patient. Otherwise, LA County is still booked with COVID patients. The Kaiser Health System is no longer accepting transfers even of their own patients to their hospitals because they supposedly are overrun. Some hospitals won't accept COVID patients in transfer, but that's not even legally allowed in the state due to emergency declaration. But Kaiser is refusing to accept any patients in transfer anymore because they're a bunch of pussies. I'm not a fan of that healthcare system, so if you can't tell. But that's it for me. I've got a bunch of phone calls I still have to make because they're calling me at the last minute to see another patient. So I will get on that, but stay safe, keep wearing your masks, socially distance and isolate, and stay safe. Good morning. It is Coronavirus Video Journal Day 60. It is the morning of July 23rd, 2020. And overnight, we had no coronavirus patients officially, but we have been accepting a large number of transfers of non-COVID patients to our hospital. And as soon as we get our labs back, their regular blood work shows signs that they may have coronavirus, and they've been testing positive. So several of my patients are pending their results right now, and I suspect that I have at least a handful that are COVID positive. But it was a very crazy night. Unfortunately, what's happening now is that the various hospitals in LA County that we all have to work with to transfer patients to each other's hospitals depending on insurance, we come to find out now that these patients... Oh, sweet. All right, not me. We've come to find out that these hospitals aren't actually doing proper workups anymore. They're doing wrong by the patients. And so, it's a damn shame that now patients are receiving subpar care for any condition, not even COVID condition, but any other medical issue. I just admitted a patient who's on the verge of death from septic shock, and the Kaiser facility, once again, Kaiser sent the patient to us without doing labs, without doing any imaging like x-rays, and the patient's blood pressure was so low they were on the verge of death, and we're going to send the patient to the intensive care unit. They didn't know where the infection was coming from. They thought the patient had a scab on their arm and that it was from that, when in reality the patient has a bunch of open skin ulcers and wounds on their back from not being turned because they're bedbound. And that same patient also has a huge hole in her stomach from a surgery that when the patient got closed up with staples, apparently the staples came undone and a part of it opened, and now there's a huge gaping hole in her belly. And so it's like, how did you guys not see that? So yeah, really, really poor care. Which means it's just more work for me to make sure that those patients receive a proper workup and proper care. Got to do it. You know, my pride will get the best of me, but now I've been here for 13 hours at the hospital because of it. So screw those doctors. It's not the patient's fault. All right. That's right. You couldn't see it. I was like woo-sawing, but my hand's right here. Anyway, you see the hair. It's been a crazy night, and I want to pull it all out, but this is what 6 months without a haircut will do. Afro time. All right, so that's it for me. Hopefully we'll give you an update on whether or not any of my patients were coronavirus patients overnight when I get back to the hospital in the morning or in the evening today. So be good, be safe, social distance, please wear your masks, and we'll talk again tomorrow. Good morning. It is Coronavirus Video Journal Day 61. It is the morning of July 24th, 2020. And sad to say, good to say, whatever, that there are no coronavirus cases that my group admitted overnight. Again, not sure what's going on, but very busy night in the hospital, very large number of sick patients that we had to admit for all different reasons overnight. So it's kind of crazy how that's what we're getting, but you know, you take it as it comes, and when it rains, it pours. You pray for the rain, you're going to have to deal with the mud too. So that's pretty much it. I have really nothing more to add at this point. California, Texas, Florida, Arizona are all getting rocked right now. Arizona has flattened the curve only because they ran out of people to infect. But other than that, California is still going out of control. I've been asked to go work in Texas to help with the COVID epidemic, but my hospital's paying me even more to stay here so that I don't go there. Sorry. But other than that, this is my new afro. It's actually pretty sweet. This is my COVID haircut, or lack thereof. Haven't had my haircut since February. So, yeah. Everyone in the hospital tends to dig it, so I guess we might keep it for a while and see how big we can get it. It's got like a little bird's nest right there. Little bald spot. Sorry, I have to make light of life and try to find a reason to smile and make jokes. But yeah. Anyway, so stay safe. Wear your masks, socially distance, and talk again tomorrow. Good morning. It is Coronavirus Video Journal Day 62 and 63 combined in one little video. And it is the morning of July 26th, 2020. I apologize I wasn't able to record a video yesterday, so this is yesterday's and today's combined. What can I say? I was swamped and didn't have time for the first time in a long time to get that video done yesterday. But today is the end of my week again. Hello. So yesterday's shift was pretty straightforward. It was extremely busy, lots and lots of sick patients, but one coronavirus patient only. Overnight tonight, or this last shift of mine, we had 4 coronavirus admissions, and a 5th one is still pending a test result. So it's getting busy here too now in terms of the coronavirus stuff. To add to it, I now have a coronavirus patient who had a coronavirus stroke because she had a blood clot that actually formed from the virus in her brain, causing a stroke. But luckily, it was a small one, and that patient has completely recovered from their stroke. So, pretty cool. Other than that, some of the COVID patients I admitted overnight are extremely ill again. Actually, the majority of them are very ill from this last shift. And I think that's it. I don't really know if I have much else to add, except for my facility has run out of all COVID tests. We are unable to keep up with the demand. And so at this point, when we are testing people for COVID-19, we have to send out labs, which takes a minimum of 4 days to get the results back. And what we are going to do in the meantime, I have no idea, because we've been testing patients to figure out if they have to go to a COVID unit or a regular unit in the hospital. And, we have patients waiting in the emergency room for up to 8-9 hours, waiting for the test results to come back before we can move them out of the emergency room. So now that we don't have any more tests, I have no idea what this hospital is going to do, because we can't hold patients in the emergency room for 4 days. So we might actually be at a point where we put people we think have COVID in the COVID units, and if they don't have them, tough luck, and hope they didn't get infected in the time they were in that unit. I don't know. But hopefully our administrators are smarter than I am and come up with a solution. So, but that's all I got. Otherwise, I'm off for 8 days and gonna get some sleep, much needed sleep, and hopefully come back a little more recharged for a continued fight against the coronavirus. Nonetheless, that's going to be it for me. I'm not going to ramble. Be safe, wear your masks, and socially distance, and try to stay away from other people other than your immediate family. Also, when I wear a mask, just to show you guys, check it out. You can't even see the lines almost. Mm-hmm. I have to wear 2 masks to protect my N95. Pretty cool, huh? Get a little biohazard symbol. But point of this is, if I can breathe through 2 masks, your ass can breathe through 1. And one of mine is an N95. It makes it that much harder. All right? That's your tip for the day. Now, stay at home, be safe, watch some Netflix, play some video games, don't go out. And we will talk again in a little over a week.